up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. So we don't know each other that well, but I do know a little bit about what you have going on, and I really want to kind of preface like how you got into all this stuff and like your story. So can we just take it back to kind of give a little information on you and what you've been through and how this all come about?
Absolutely. I mean, I enjoy sharing my story.
Cool.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know, and it's like something that you go around. Hey, I had this, and this is what happened. So back in 2012, it was just just regular routine doctor checkup, and.
So what age were you at that point?
43, I think, 42 or 43. So that's been 13, 14 years ago. But anyway, so I just go, routine checkup, leave on my way home, and my doctor calls me. He's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I said, he goes, "Well," he said, "your blood work was a little, kind of funky, but," he goes, "but I think everything's okay." He said, "I'm going to call you some antibiotics in, take that. Come see me next week and we'll redo." I said, okay. Didn't think nothing about it.
So you have do you have a relationship with this doctor?
Yeah, he was like a friend of mine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, it was like somebody I knew.
Right.
So he just calls me on the phone. Of course, a lot of doctors don't do that.
Right, exactly. That's why I asked.
Yeah, and so anyway, and so I take the antibiotics, go back the next week. Well, blood count's still just real elevated, the white count. I mean, it's off the chart. He goes, "Well," I guess, I think you need to go. He goes, "I don't think it's really anything, but I want you to go see an oncologist." So that's when I started going to see Dr. Bonio, oncologist at Christus Schumpert. And so, at that point, go, and he goes, "Yeah," I guess, "I'm not, it may be this, but I think it's probably that." And so that's when they, do all the other tests, blood work, stuff like that, and then come found out I've got CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia.
So explain to everyone what that is.
Well, it's a blood cancer.
Right.
Yeah, so that's really all I can do.
Okay, gotcha. And so what was it? So you weren't seeing any side effects yet at that point?
No, not. I mean, they're the really only side effects, and it's one of those cancers that's not the way my doctor put it. He goes, "If you were going to get one, this is the one you want." Okay. And I'm like, "Well, I don't want any of them."
Yeah.
But anyway, but he was just kind of like, he goes, "It's not something you're going to die from." He said, "You'll die from another one before you die from this." So that, but still, there's just that fear. There's just that. Okay, well, cancer, because you just don't know what to expect. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the only symptoms I was really having, which looking back, it was just fatigue, which was one of the main issues, night sweats. But I'm 43, thinking, okay, testosterone's low,
right?
Not as active as I used to be. Is that something that's just because you're just getting older? But it was partly a combination of the two. A little combination of just getting a little older, and then you got the leukemia, which is making all this stuff kind of your body just real funky. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so that happened. And what year was that?
Well, it got diagnosed in 12, started treatments in 13.
Okay,
so from there, there's kind of like, okay, now we got to get a plan. We're going to do, along with leukemia comes along with lymphoma. So
right.
Leukemia and lymphoma kind of hand in hand. A lot of people have them together. Some people have, lymphoma, but not the leukemia side, but they kind of, basically run together. So I did have a lymphoma, so I had all the lymph nodes are swollen in your neck and under your arms, and so you're having to go and do the scans, all the tests and stuff like that. So so that's when I started the treatment, probably I don't remember when it was, probably the end of February, 1st of March, when I first did my first treatment and stuff. Of 13.
Gotcha. And then what did that look like? How long did you have to do that?
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like once, you go for a week and then you're off 2 or 3 weeks, and then you go back for a week and then you're off 2 or 3 weeks. So it was like 2 or 3 days of that week. So I mean, pretty much you're done for that week.
Yeah.
So go do the chemo, then you go back the next day, get a little more treatment, then you go back a day later to get a shot, like we were just talking about, and then you get that shot, and the shot just kind of kicks your ass.
Yeah. So you have chemo, you have a shot that's trying to control your white blood count.
Yeah, or just basically you're controlling your immune system.
Right, you're right.
Boost all that up.
Right.
Keep from getting sick.
So what were you doing when you found out you had it? Like, what was your professional occupation, and how did that affect that? Like, what all?
Well, I mean, me and my wife used to own a hair salon.
Okay.
Years ago, and then we sold it, and so we were working over here. It's kind of just renting a space out. So I had clients to take care of. You had a whole schedule. I was able to work some. I was able to work, not really the week of chemo, but after that, I kind of, get a little, kind of feeling a little bit better, but you're really not 100%. I mean, it seemed like it took forever to get back to 100%. So yeah, it was a lot of rescheduling appointments, trying to figure out, really just trying to figure out, how you're going to make ends meet because you can't really work. So.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming you had insurance at this point too.
Yeah, I mean, insurance does help. Right, they don't pay for everything.
Right, for sure. But like the people that don't is insane. Like, that
for sure.
Something like this hits them, and then they don't have any type of coverage, and then you're racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills.
Whenever you just start seeing the price of, this is 13 years ago what it cost.
What was it? Do you remember?
Oh God, I mean, just one treatment would be easy. $50,000.
It's probably more. Probably like 150 now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it may have been close to 70, 75 maybe.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was, because you go that one day, you're there. I mean, I'm there for 6-7 hours. The next day, it's like 3.5, 4 hours maybe. Then the next day, you just go in and get the shot. And the shot probably $5,000.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean, that's what it was then. Who knows what it's now?
Yeah.
So.
And so
it's crazy.
You do that. And you're trying to work and stuff, and then you're on treatment for 6 months. And what happens after that? Like, does it go away? Like,
you're in remission,
right?
So I'm in remission, but I'm still going to the doctor every 3 months because he's just doing the blood work, just to make sure that because when you have something chronic, it can come back. And so he was like, look, I'm not going to say it's going to be gone forever, but it could, it could be gone forever, or it could come back in no time. Well, then 2018, it comes back. So
okay.
So
5 years later.
5 years later. Yeah, 4, and that's really about the 5-year mark is like, if you make it past the 5-year mark, you're usually pretty good. So, I mean, it's almost like to the day. And so I go back, he goes, well, your blood work's looking a little funky again. I'm like going, damn, so then it was just strictly just the leukemia. It wasn't didn't have any of the lymphoma that was going on. So then it was, I don't know if it was just from the chemo the first time, and so it just, I had a lot of, I ended up being anemic, so I had to get like, I don't know, many units of blood, 8 or 9, and so it's, just struggling the whole time. You're doing doing the chemo again, you're giving the blood. It's like, it's crazy. So trying to figure all this stuff out. And so, you're just going through all over again.
So you went through that all over again for another 6 months? Mm-hmm. And then...
Then it was gone for 2 years. So in 2020...
Holy shit, man.
And, so the 2020 is really kind of crazy because, 2020, you got the pandemic's going on.
Everything's shut down.
Everything's shut down. And nobody knows what's going on. So anyway, so I don't know if it's just the stress of everything, but anyway... And I may not, my doctor did say, we may not have been able to really finish your chemo back in 2018. And he said, and this could be why it's kind of coming back, but we're going to, check it. And so anyway, go back through all that again. So I think probably around June or July. And he's like, yeah, we're just going to kind of watch it, but you're going to be fine. Don't worry, worry about it. Of course, in your mind, you got the pandemic going on, you got this, you got that. Well, my mom and dad, they're both retired. And so this is when it gets kind of crazy. So, my mom and dad are just sitting around watching TV all the time. They're just stressed out, don't know what's going on. You got this, you got that. She's worried about my dad. She's worried about me, my mom. And so I'm at work. Get a phone call, and they're like going, hey, your mom's falling, blah, 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 this is what's going on. So we go, my mom passes of a heart attack. This was on that Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, by Sunday, I'm in the hospital getting blood because everything has come back just like that. And so that's when we start the next 6 months all over again.
So you're probably just trying to fight it that whole time.
Yeah.
And probably just that initial cortisol hit probably put you under.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. So anyway, we go through that, and then they put me on at that time. So there was a new medication. It was called Menclexta. So it was just for CLL patients. So I was doing the chemo with that, and then it went into remission again after 6 months, and then 2024. I didn't have to do any of the chemo, but I had to get back on some medication, Brukinza, that would help stabilize all that kind of stuff. So since January of this year, I've been off all my medication, and we talked about just different diets.
Yeah. So what's that looking like now? So
it's great.
You've how much weight have you lost? And what was that period of what did you weigh when you first got diagnosed the first time? Was you overweight?
Yeah. What? Do I know?
Were you overweight at the time? No, you weren't? Okay.
No, probably, around 180,
okay.
185-ish.
What did you drop down to during treatment?
Oh, shoot, easy, about 160.
Okay, so
so you're
knocked 20 pounds. Yeah, knocks 20 pounds off of you.
Yeah, and so, when you get off all the medication and all that kind of stuff, you start feeling better, so you're just eating, and I'm just eating like crazy. So I'd gotten up to almost probably, this was probably back in, probably 17. I'd probably gotten close to 200, because we were traveling a lot with our son, playing sports and all that kind of good stuff. So you're not eating real healthy.
No.
And so, anyway, so lately I've been trying to change all that kind of stuff I got 2 grandkids now, so I got to be healthy,
So what have you, what's your diet now? What are you doing currently?
Strictly just carnivore.
Carnivore, yeah. You like it?
Oh, I love it.
It's my favorite, man. I flip-flop back to this and that. Recently, we've been doing so many, high-intense workouts that I've been having to inject a little more carbs than I feel comfortable with, just because I can't quite cut it just carnivore with that. But, I prefer to add the fruits. I'll get, fresh squeezed orange juice. I'll use that. I'll take a shot, 8 ounces of that before or after a workout.
Yeah.
Or some grapes or some pineapple or something like that.
I'll put a little creatine in my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Just to kind of help out, But, I've been trying to go to the gym as much as possible, work out and stuff. But it's just all about getting, what got me started on the carnivores, because I went and saw a new doctor, Dr. Trotzclair, and he's a functional medicine doctor. And actually he's the deputy surgeon general for the state of Louisiana now. And so, which is, kind of crazy. So it's kind of like Maha of Louisiana.
Yeah.
So when I first met him and stuff, he, did my blood work, and he was just kind of like, man, he goes, you got to get all these, levels. This is a little too high for you. This is not high enough, so you're trying to balance everything. And so he told me about the carnivore and doing some other things with the creatine and doing all these other little things and stuff. And so it was kind of like you could have, steak, you could have butter, eggs, bacon.
This is so funny because that was taboo 10 years ago.
Oh, you would have thought you were going to
it's
clog your arteries and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, heart attack.
Yeah.
But it's the exact opposite. It's all this other bullshit we're putting in our body. These carbohydrates that are refined and full of sugars. Refined sugars, any processed foods, all this bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it's like everything that you were told at one time years ago is really the exact opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah, and it's very hard to take someone who's been doing something their entire life and completely 360 them.
Yeah. Well, like me, so I don't, because the fruits have obviously, it's better sugar than refined sugar, but it's still sugar.
Oh, yeah.
And so my levels were, my body was processing a lot of stuff that was raising my sugar level. So I was trying to drop that, which I did within a couple months. It wasn't easy because it was going through during the holidays. So
everybody's eating all that
Christmas
and
heavy New Year's, and so I cut a lot of stuff out. Just kind of, I do love to drink beer. That's one of my.
I love to drink tequila. That's my problem. If I gotta do everything.
So I've cut that way back.
Yeah.
But during football season, you're gonna sit around with your friends. You're gonna have a few. You got to.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I've done is cut all that out. Cut a lot of the, the fruits, some of the vegetables because of the oxalates that are in there. And it's really crazy when you start telling people about this. They're like going, well, I thought this was good for you, or this and that. And it is. It's not.
Well, every individual is different, too.
Exactly.
I did, I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like 5 strands or whatever test where you take your hair follicles. I did it for my wife and I. We take your hair follicles and you send them off. And they do essentially they don't call it an allergy test. It's I can't think of the name of it, but essentially it's basically what are you more susceptible to? What does your body not process better? So on and so forth. And so there was meats that I thought and vegetables I thought they were okay for me to eat, and it weren't. And as I looked at it, it wasn't so as I looked at it, damn near every so there's a green, an orange, and a red on this thing.
Yeah.
damn near every, in like a gray, which is like whatever, damn near every single vegetable on that list, I was hitting red at.
Really?
Like, yeah. So, like, all this stuff that I thought was healthy for my body, it wasn't. You know, I'm not processing it correctly. You know, it's...
well, that's just kind of like the sugar part. I mean, I didn't think that... I mean, I love chips and salsa. You know, so probably of course, there's a lot of sugar that's added to a lot of places that have salsa.
Oh, yeah. It makes it taste so much better. Throw that sugar
I know,
in there.
but I mean, that was probably one of the things that was, probably the beer or alcohol is probably raising the sugar level.
All that,
that. You know, so, a lot of times you don't realize the way your body processes it. So when I got that, and so when I got my blood work from Dr. Troxclair, I mean, it's like it's a sheet a mile long with all the tests that he does to, look at your body and figure all that stuff out. So, I mean, from your cholesterol to this to that to, just...
Cholesterol's another thing, too, man, because, like, they say that, there's a range because some people need it lower, some people need it higher, and then there's all these things where people thought that you couldn't eat high cholesterol foods because they thought that was going to affect your cholesterol level, which now is not the case. There's all kinds of stuff there.
And your body needs cholesterol, especially for your brain.
Yeah, and everyone's different, right? So, like, mine runs a little higher, but I think it's just how
your body processes.
But it's been consistent with everything else, because I'm constantly getting them every 6 months for, like, hormone replacement therapy and all that stuff, and just trying to dial all that in. And you'll see that mine are down significantly. I guess mine were really high, and they've come down, but they've come down like after I got a couple other foods out of my diet that I wasn't processing correctly.
Yeah.
It was like just random. It wasn't just meats. Like, it was just random foods. Like, I'm good with beef and chicken. Venison apparently is not good for me, which is weird, right? Because that's a very good lean beef, red meat. So, like, I can't really, I can eat it, but pork, like, is still okay on my thing, but I've dialed that back because it was like in the orange. You know what I mean? But
that's interesting because I've never done
you should
that
do
test.
it. You should do it because it's it's only like $200, I think, or something like that, and you just pop. It's called 5 strands, but you pop like 20 strands of hair out. You pop some out of your arm, your leg, your hair. Your head, and you throw them in a little thing, send them off, and within a week you have like. This fully thing is saved in my phone. I go back and check it, and say, well, could I have that? I can't remember. And it does like seasonal allergies too. Like it'll say like different types of grass, different types of seasonings, spices, food. It's crazy.
Yes, but like, so getting back to starting that diet, it was more of like a cleansing for me, just to make sure, because all the, from all the chemo and the drugs and all that kind of stuff that I've been taking for over the years.
That's wrecked your kidneys and liver, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, and everything, everything came back good.
Right.
Fortunately, but that was one of the things is just like with spike proteins and metals and all that kind of stuff that, can be in your body. So it's kind of more of just kind of trying to reset everything. And so that's kind of what got me kind of started on the, going to see him and getting on the diet and all that kind of stuff. And so I do drink plenty of water. I drink tons of water all the time, but, that was one thing. It's kind of like, well, I drink plenty of that, but maybe I need to change my diet just a little bit more. So you're trying to tweak everything.
There's always something to dial in, man.
Oh, yeah. Always. Yeah. Always.
And so from there, how did everything else transpire with your organization and all that? So how did this?
Yeah. So back in 2020, during all that, so it was really toward the end, there was, so much going on. You don't know what what's ahead, so you're trying to figure out, okay, we have all these people doing all these things for us, so whenever I was, couldn't do a lot of stuff because I was down and out, it was, again, I had to have the blood transfusions, doing the chemo, I'm sick, too sick to do a lot of other stuff, so I had people, we had friends of ours that would come and, they mowed our grass, they cleaned our house, they brought us food, they, did all these things that we couldn't do. So when I started the Give All Project, it was more of a way just to kind of give back. And so I just, one day I was just like, I've already had it 3 times. I've been through this 3 times, like, what am I supposed to do?
Within a 10-year period?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was like twice in, 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, there's got to be, what is my purpose here? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm like, Lord, I got to know. There's a reason for all this going on. And so it just came to me one night. I was just laying in bed, just kind of saying a little prayer. And I was like going, okay, these people have done so much for me. What can I do for these other people or people that are in need? And so it just kind of came to me, and it was like, Give All Project, GAP, filling in the gaps. And so a lot of times I'll use that, little slogan. I'll be like, yeah, we're just trying to fill in the gap. So everybody has a gap in their life that needs to be filled. It could be a financial, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual gap. I mean, there's all kind of gaps that people need and don't really realize it. So when you're going through the cancer part, you may need just somebody to talk to that's been through it before. And so that's where, we just kind of started that, and it's just kind of like, really in the last couple of years, we've done really good with some of the fundraising that we've done. And I know Bo and Peanut have really helped out in the back here. So we do really what kind of started, we were doing that little Riding for a Cure. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
We've done that back here in the East Bank and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun.
So what's your mission statement, I guess, for the nonprofit?
Yeah. So, our mission is just to help people.
And so what are their, like, how do they qualify, I guess, or what does that look like?
I don't have any qualifications, man.
Yeah.
If you need some help, I'll help you.
So somebody just reaches out?
Yeah, they just call and say, hey, I've helped people pay their car notes, helped people pay their house note.
Is it people like, hey, I know someone who needs some help?
Yes, I got a call, like, one of the first people we helped pay their, house note, and it was like, his wife was going through cancer. He couldn't work. He's helping take care of her. They'd gotten behind, and he was like, hey, can y'all help out? Actually, it's from Justin at Simple Church. He goes, hey, there's this family. Can you help out? And I'm like, absolutely.
Well, that's always the best way to vet them, I think, it's not when they're calling and ask for help, because most of those people won't, right? It's a family or a friend,
sure,
or friend of the family, that's like, hey, man, we know somebody that needs some help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you help them out? I'm like, well, absolutely. I'll do whatever I can, So, a lot of people are really afraid to ask, or especially in a situation like that. I mean, I don't know that they're afraid or embarrassed or, but that happens, though. I mean, I get it, because there's a lot of times you can't, especially the caregiver or the spouse who isn't sick is taking care of the one who is, and they can't work, they can't do this, they can't do that. So a lot of times you just fall behind. And you just need a little help just to kind of bounce back. So that's kind of where we kind of come in and fill the gap, just to help take care of them.
Gotcha. So, and so what are you guys doing for fundraising now? Like, how do you raise money now?
So right now, we still have the Riding for a Cure. We'll do the Race for Life.
What does all the Riding for the Cure entail?
So every Thursday night, there's a bike ride, Bossier Bike Night.
Yep.
And so we got it coming up in June, I think June 25th, I believe, Thursday.
So does Creighton helping you?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where Creighton was doing the ride, and so we were doing the ride one night, and I said, I wonder if we could just do like a bike ride to help raise money for cancer patients and families here in our area. And he's like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. And so we were riding one night, and Bo's down there, and so I said, hey man, what do you think about this? Could we have it, here at the? He's like, absolutely. And I think at the time, this has been 4 years ago whenever we did the first one. I think his dad had either had cancer or was going through it at the time. And he was like, absolutely, my dad's got this and that. And so we were able to, raise, I think, around 10 grand that first time. We did a little silent auction, a lot of donations, sold some tables. And a lot of that just went to help, leukemia, lymphoma patients here in our area. So.
And then what other fundraisers do you have going on besides that one?
So we have what's called Country versus Country Club coming up in a couple of weeks. So it's a good friend of ours, Summer James. She goes, hey, she was helping us out a couple years ago, and she still does from time to time. She's got a new job now, but anyway, and she was like, why don't we do this fundraiser where you could dress up like country and you can come in your boots and hats, or you could dress country club and you can wear your tennis or golf outfits or whatever you want to wear. And so we're like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's do it. And so anyway, big solid auction, food, music. We sold a bunch of tables. And so the first year, I think we did a little around 20 grand.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. I love it because having a good time with it, So
where do y'all have that at?
Well, we had it at been having it at Chef's Table the last 2 years.
Okay.
And we've just kind of, I lobbied for it again this year, but everybody that's been helping us out, we just kind of outgrew it.
Yeah. Well, you only fit so many people in that area. I mean, it's a great venue, but you can only get so many people in there.
I mean, Peanut was so good. I mean, Brittany was awesome, helping us out and donating a bunch of stuff for us. And, so this year we're over 200 people already.
Yeah.
And we've sold I don't know how many, 16, 17 tables. And so, but yeah, so it's gonna be great.
Where's it gonna be at?
We're gonna be down at the Boardwalk Event Center.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So we got the crowd that's gonna be playing. We got Bitter Creek Barbecue.
Yeah, Jody. Jody
and Jody Rhodes and Chris, they help out, and then so it's gonna be a good time. We got a bunch of great stuff this year.
And so those are your two major fundraisers.
Yeah, major fundraisers. Then we did a golf tournament at Chasing Aces last year, which was a lot of fun too. So
yeah,
I just try to do little things that a couple times a year, 2 or 3 times a year, just trying to help people out. And and we've done we did a cook-off at St. Jude's, chili cook-off. Not really for a fundraiser, but just kind of to help St. Jude's out, the one in Minden and stuff.
We typically do that one every year. I didn't get to do it this past year. It's a lot of fun. Oh, it's a big event, man.
Yeah, it's very big. I didn't realize how big it was.
They race I don't know the numbers on that this year.
They raised a little over $2 million
this year. Yeah, in Minden, Louisiana.
Yeah,
and it's insane how many people not there support it because they have all these raffles that you can go online and just.
Well, they have that telethon for 3 or 4 days.
And people don't do those anymore, right? And they're still doing that stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're doing it. I mean, they got a whole room set up in there with computers and phones, and they're on on the stage, and people are calling. People from all over the world are calling in and donating. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars.
It's crazy.
I mean, just in Minden, Louisiana. But a lot of people don't realize how many kids from that area around Minden, extended over to Ruston and over to Monroe, how many kids come down with cancer and go to St. Jude. And that's kind of what started the whole deal. Because I was asking questions and stuff about, why here in Minden. And so they started it years and years ago. And I guess it just took 1 or 2 children to go there. And they said, we'll start a little telethon. So they have a deal they have set up with St. Jude, Memphis, that helps, so they funnel all that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's
and it's really sad.
The amount of money that it takes, now being through it 3 times. Holy shit! Do you ever sit down and said, if I didn't have any type of coverage or any help, what would it have cost me? Have you even looked at a total?
It'd be close to $1 million.
For $1 million, yeah,
easy.
Yeah. I was going to say more than that.
And it could be. I mean, just thinking about the medication alone, and I don't know how much it is, but I know the pharmacist over at Christus, he did say, this medicine, if you had to pay for it out of pocket, would be thousands and thousands.
Well, and so you say over $1 million, so you've had it 3 times. You have to think, just an organization raising that much money still only goes so far. There's still so much more
that one person.
Right, which if they have the extension, if they don't have any coverage or whatever. Luckily, St. Jude's provides that, and this is supporting them, kind of thing. But still, you have to think there's so much more that could be done, right? There's so much that's being done, which is great, but it's one of those things. We did Hogs this year, and I think we did right at 6.6 million.
That's crazy.
That weekend.
That's awesome.
And still that only goes so far. You know what I mean? It's I think one of the biggest things, which was cool to hear, is that what happens when you have to do a PET scan, right? Yeah. So they didn't have one for children in Austin. So they have a cancer center there, but they didn't have a PET scan for children. So they're having to take the kids to the adult center to get that. And how that could be scary for a kid. All the stuff you have to go through. Yeah. At least the cancer centers.
It's scary for us.
Right. So if at a cancer center for children, they're making them feel more comfortable. They have all these things, but they're having to bus them over to this adult center and then do these PET scans. So the biggest contribution, I think they did a $500,000 PET scan system out of that fund this year, which is cool to hear.
That's awesome.
Just to help that one hospital, and then they're constantly raising money. They have their houses where they house families, and people hear that and they're like, "Oh man, those families are doing fine. They don't need help." But man, it's not like that, because you have to think, if you have someone going through pediatric cancer, pediatric brain cancer or something like that, where they're hospitalized and they can't move, leave, get far from the hospital. They're going through chemo, and just like you were, but on an extensive level, those families have to be there.
Yeah, well, I think what people really, people go, okay, well, you can go to Memphis St. Jude, and it don't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is true. That is. But you have to remember, people. I mean, like say there's two parents.
Exactly.
Well, both parents can't go. One's got to stay behind. Those people have a 2-family income.
Yeah.
So you just lost one income. So you got one that's trying to, do everything they possibly can, even though that there is free. You still have a mortgage. I mean, most people, I'm assuming, have a mortgage
or rent, something.
You got, bills. You still got all your utility bills that comes monthly. That don't stop. Just because you're there at St. Jude don't stop. I mean, but then, they do pay for your housing. They do pay for food. They do help you with your gas to get there and stuff. But there's all those other needs that are there that people don't know or talk about. They just assume, it's taken care of. So that's kind of where we try to come in and help these people, try to fill those gaps in, meet those needs that those people need, because, all this money that we raise, every year, like you say, maybe $6 million, but that only goes so far.
Exactly. I mean, it's a lot of, trust me, it's a lot of money. And a lot of people bust their ass to raise that money.
Yeah, and there's still millions and millions of dollars that are raised every year, but that's just here, not talking about all over, but there's still that need of the individual families here just in our area that need help. And so that's where we try to help them out, is just make sure that we meet the needs that they need while they're here. Because there's a lot of times that, you'd be surprised. people just, struggling, sometimes go buy groceries, maybe to go, pay their electric bill. And I know there's ways that, you can, I'm sure you can call your electric company and say, hey, this is what's going on. They may give you a pass for a couple months, but they may not. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
I was going to say probably not. But
but in a desperate situation, you never know what, you just got to reach out to these people. But, like I say, a lot of people are not afraid to ask, but sometimes I guess maybe a little embarrassed to ask. But, people, I do, and I have learned one thing. Whenever people say, hey, reach out, let me know if there's anything I can do for you, they really mean it, even though people sometimes don't want to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And you're not really taking advantage. It's just, man, I care about you, I love you, and I want to help take care of you.
Yeah, and it's very hard to ask for help if you're a type of person that is not used to asking for help, right?
Well, and as guys, we're not going to ask for help. That's just the way we're programmed.
Yeah.
We're just not gonna. We can handle it. We can do it.
Yeah, it's an ego thing. Yeah, and everyone
I get it.
And men have it more than women, unfortunately.
Sure.
And it's to our detriment. It's not a good thing most of the time.
It's just who we are.
Yeah, it is what it is. But no, yeah, man, that's one of those things where anyone says you're right. Hey, if they're saying, hey, let me know how I can help, like. If you need help, let them know.
If you just want to talk on the phone, just you got to get something off your chest. there ain't no judgment here. I'm not gonna. I've been there. I know. I'm not gonna sit here and judge. I can't judge anybody for anything. But if you just need something, or you just want to, hey man, let's go. Go grab a beer. I just want to talk to you about some stuff, or whatever the case may be. There's all kind of cases out there.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of there to help fill in the gap.
So is this what you're doing full time now?
Pretty well. It seems like it.
Yeah.
So we still we have a little studio set up at our house. My wife, she does facials and all that kind of stuff, and I still have a little studio where I still cut hair.
Gotcha.
A couple times a week. But this is becoming a full time deal, and I love it. Whenever you do something and you put a smile on somebody's face, when you hand them a check or whatever that's paid for their electric bill, or you just. I remember there's a family a couple years ago, and it wasn't so much a financial need, but they probably did need some financial help for sure, which they did. And we did help a little bit, and he didn't really want to ask, but we had gone over there to bring him some stuff, and I noticed, of course, they had he was a single dad, had a child in high school that was going through cancer and all this and that. So we go there to visit them, we bring them some stuff, and I noticed they didn't have a Christmas tree, and this was like around Christmas. And I was like, oh, hell no. We can't. I don't care how old the child is or not.
Right.
Nobody should go through Christmas without at least a tree or a wreath on the door or something. So anyway, I put on Facebook, I said, anybody have like an old tree they want to just get rid of? I don't care, fake, real, doesn't matter. Maybe a wreath or something that you want to, get around. So I had a friend, she made a wreath, and then we picked up a tree, brought it to them, and, did those little things. And so those are like things that maybe not so much a, financial need, but it was a need that you don't want to see nobody go through Christmas with nothing like that.
Yeah, they're too busy worried about
There again, though, I mean, you're more worried about what's going on in the hospital, health, and all that kind of stuff. You shouldn't have to worry about all these other things.
But and that little joy of the little Christmas joy, man, it goes a long way. Everybody like that season. It's interesting, right? Because it's become like it's a super superficial holiday at this point. When it comes to commerce, right?
Yeah.
How much people spend on like they feel obligated to buy someone a gift that one time a year. Whereas there's still that joy of friends and family getting together.
Yeah.
And that's contagious. And if you don't have that, even if you don't have like come home and that little bit of it just feels better when you come home. You walk in and the Christmas tree's on. You know what I mean? There's something about it that I guess nostalgia is attached to that too, like growing up and reminding you of family and stuff. So like not having that one, I can see we're not having that one little piece just because you're in the.
Yeah, it was just so sad. I mean, I was just kind of like, it really kind of just broke my heart. I was like, even though, I mean, he's, I guess he was probably 14 or 15 at the time, but still, I mean, he's not a little child.
Right.
But it's just still like you say, the joy of it, coming home and it's lit up.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of puts a smile on your face. Makes you feel better. Especially when you're going through something what he was going through. I mean, it really breaks your heart that a child has to go through something like that.
Yeah. Man, those are the worst too.
Yeah, that's happening more and more.
Well, I mean, man, it's definitely. You can't tell me it's not contributed to what we're putting in our bodies.
Oh, for sure. There's
what I mean?
Doubt about that.
Like it's just like the autism thing. Like, dude, that stuff is, if you look at the numbers on that versus what it was 10 or 15 years ago.
Lie.
And then they try to say, well, it wasn't diagnosed. I'm like, no, come on, man. There's something going on. It's all these chemicals and these things and like all the stuff you're putting in your, it's just a lot.
I mean, it's all the processed foods. It's the foods. That's what I told somebody. We were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and we were just talking about, the foods and stuff that we eat. And probably, if you go back to whenever, I guess, fast food first came out, like McDonald's. We'll just use McDonald's, for instance. The meat probably was real at that time.
Well, yeah, at that point, it was fresh beef. It was, the fries were made and then cut and then fried in beef tallow.
Yeah.
Right? So at one point, it was a decent food for what it was. I mean, is a French fry still a good food? No, but that was probably the best version there ever was of it.
Sure.
And then as they scaled, it just become, one of those things.
And that's probably some of the, we know fast food ain't good for you. I mean, it's
right.
Anything fast is probably not good.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just say it. I mean, but you and all these other, not to mention any, names, but you see like chicken, I know my son grew up on chicken strips. And you can go and, you can go to the grocery store, you see a chicken breast. I mean, it looks like a big turkey breast. Well, you can't tell me that thing ain't shot up with a bunch of stuff. So it's what you're putting in your body. Yeah. That can't be good for. I'm not saying that's what causing. I mean, I'm not a doctor.
Well, it's definitely not. It's definitely not helping anything.
No.
Right? We're not saying, hey, this is the reason why. But
if you just sit and think real hard about it, and you look at it and you go, there's just no way that could be a chicken breast.
I think sugar,
that can't be right.
Yeah. And if you've watched, I don't know if you watched that documentary on the chicken, but like how they breed those, they're not even shot up so much anymore, so that they've been bred to where they grow so quickly. But even still, like the seed oils and the sugars, man, like that, I think those are the most contributing factors to most of our horrible health. Because
and canned goods. I mean, there's nothing.
That stuff too.
But preservatives and all that kind of stuff that's in there.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's hard to eat healthy, or it's expensive to eat healthy.
Well, yes and no, right? So like it's not as convenient. If you take the money and you look at it, I mean, pull through McDonald's or Burger King or wherever. Like, how much are you gonna pay for a meal? Probably $16-17 if you get a drink. Now. I don't know. I haven't been.
I haven't either.
But I would just venture to guess. $15, $16, $17, whatever for a drink, a burger and some fries. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get a pack of chicken breasts for $8 and has 6 chicken breasts in it, and you can feed the whole family. You know what I mean? So like, but it's not as convenient, right?
Sure.
And also,
that's why. That's what I was going to say. I mean, just fast food is just it's convenient.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are really busy. Doing so much stuff. It's like, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to do this. But like what you do, do meal prepping. I mean, and that could be
takes
really.
Forever.
Well, I'm just saying,
but
if somebody comes and like says, "Hey, I need something for the whole week," it's busy for you, but at least they have their meals out for the whole week. So that's something that's quick and easy, and it's way better healthy for you. I do that at home. I'll go and cook, a bunch of burgers. I'll get some, natural beef or whatever, make some burgers, and I'll just cook, 8 or 9 of those, and that's what I'll just eat on for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Sometimes it may last a day and a half, depends on how hungry I am. But, I'm just trying to meal prep for the week, because I know I'm going to be busy. I'm not going to be able to grab anything quick. So, that and a bunch of boiled eggs. So.
That's what I did at first when I first got into it a long time ago, was I would prep on Sundays for my whole week. Mm-hmm. And I'd make turkey burgers, chicken breasts, whatever, and different types of vegetables. Mm-hmm. And quinoa, rice, or whatever, and just pack it all up, and I'd eat on that all week long. And then I got so busy that I would started buying those from someone, and now we make them for everyone else, and I feel like I don't have time to even make any for myself.
Well, I was going to say,
but I'm always eating,
making it. You don't want to really.
I'm always eating protein, because we always from barbecue and like catering and stuff to preps or what. There's always protein laying around, excess protein. So that's typically what fills my week up is
especially when you get to go around and taste different ones.
Oh yeah, man. It's man, it's one of those things. People, the convenience of eating something like that is just, it's because they don't have their health on the forefront of their mind, right? They're just going through the grind. Yeah. But as soon as something like what happens to you happened to you,
it's a wake-up call.
It completely flips everything. Oh, yeah. And a lot of times it's too late.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cases where people, by the time they figure out this has happened to them,
that's why it's so important just to go I had friends of mine, even back, say 10 years ago, they really didn't have a doctor. It was I'm not sick. Well, okay, that's fine. But and I assume that your insurance companies, or most of them, give you one wellness visit a year.
Oh, you're going to get those, yeah.
And so, there's nothing wrong with just going just to get checked out, because you may find out something you don't want to know. And that's the the fear of it. But if you catch it early enough, like anything, with cancer or diabetes or whatever, if you catch it early enough, you can be saved from it. That's early detection is the key to a lot of that stuff. And so I try to preach to people. I was like, man, just go to the yearly checkup. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, get blood work done, man. That's the most important thing, I think, is having that done. Because if you're just going through and them checking your vitals and your blood pressure,
no, you got to
do a little more than that.
Yeah,
you got a little more than that.
And the older we get, there's, with guys, there's the, testosterone, there's the,
prostate issues. Yeah.
There's, heart issues. There could be, it could be anything, but just one little simple blood test can tell you a whole lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And so, and it just, and even if there's nothing wrong, that should kind of make you go, okay, I'm just going to try to be a little more healthier. I may, start, changing my diet a little bit, cut back on this, cut back on that, maybe go to the gym a little bit, or start walking, or start doing this, or start doing that. And so, I think, 2020 during the pandemic got a lot of people thinking too, though, because I think, got us out riding bikes. You just couldn't do anything, so that's kind of what started the riding, bike rides and riding for a cure and all that kind of good stuff. So
yeah, isn't it crazy? It's been 6 years since then.
That's nuts.
It's still
when you think about it.
Well, just the domino effect of what's come behind it and all the bullshit attached to it, and losing a year, everyone losing a year or two, man. It's almost like it still feels like it was not so long ago because of all the time that was wasted.
Yeah. Well, I think there was a lot of good that came out of that.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
There was some bad, but I think there was more good that came out of that because it got people out of the house. People are now growing their vegetables.
It did a lot of stuff, right? So it mainstreamed people being able to work from home, the convenience of that, which that was a huge shakeup in the professional corporate world.
Yeah.
And then it increased alcohol sales.
Well, that's
significantly.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I think we all drank more during that time, just because there wasn't much going on and it was easy to do.
You didn't have nothing else to do. There was really nothing on TV other than all the gloom and doom. And so you're trying to find something to do. And
I think the biggest setback was the school thing for children, the work thing for people, and then the whole closing businesses, that thing, that's the thing.
Small businesses.
Yeah, that's the thing that we've been trying to recover over.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good that come out of it too, right?
There's a lot of good, a lot of bad, but I think at the end of the day, it really kind of opened a lot of people's eyes, and still opening people's eyes today. Just with the amount of people that are even 6 years later coming down with things that we hadn't seen before. Just with talking about the cancer. We've got, colon cancer's on the rise, brain cancer. Years ago, if we're all honest with ourselves, you didn't really know anybody that had brain cancer. You may have heard of someone. Now we could personally probably name 2 or 3
I mean, I know of someone going through it currently right now.
I do too.
We're probably the same individual. But like, yeah, and colon and brain.
Yeah, I mean, I know numerous people with colon cancer, right? I mean,
that's a good,
in the last couple of years. So what's causing all
It's
this?
not because, it's just we've detected it. No, no, there's something right. There's a lot of things,
something's
right?
igniting this.
Is it microplastics? Is it shots? Is it vaccinations? Is it diet? Is it a combination? Is it a cocktail of all of those things? You know, who knows?
I think it's just a combination of a lot of things. It's just finally coming out. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried to say, oh, well, it's not this. Oh, it's not that. You know, it's, you know, somebody was saying the other day that I can't remember how they explained it, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But it was just the doctor basically just trying to cover up for what we know to be or what we think. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that you don't want to go, oh, it's the vaccines, you know, because then.
No, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things, right? There's, yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people that I didn't have it,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of people who did that maybe haven't had any cancer or nothing like that, but have had some lung issues that they didn't have before.
Dude, I'm glad I
Never
did.
smoked.
Glad I didn't either because I felt like I had long COVID already. I felt like
I'm sure you have.
I felt like that I just now got over the respiratory side effects of that, and I probably dealt with that for 2 or 3 years, and I had no treatment. So like, it's as I look back, I'm like right after all of like 2021, I remember us going to like Colorado and I was having trouble breathing and people say, well, it's elevation. No, I'd just been to Colorado the year prior. It's not, it wasn't the elevation. It was like, and then I noticed that I had a cough that hung around forever. And then I had respiratory issues that hung around for almost 2 years. Like they would come and go. It wasn't all the time.
Yeah,
and
but it wasn't as bad. I mean, before.
Right, exactly. No, I didn't have them before.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, it just conveniently happened. It was during that. So like I never got diagnosed with it, but I'm sure I had it. And I'm sure, you know, I had those side effects or those long lasting effects afterwards. I can only imagine if I did something else, like took that, which would cause some people way more issues, you know, like.
For sure.
Would I even come back from it? Cause like there's times where I have shortness of breath. I'm like, I'm in shape. I do all types of working out.
Yeah.
All my blood work's fine. I don't see any issues with my lungs. There's no issues with my heart. Like, so what is it? It's like, that had something to do with it, probably, if I were to guess, you know?
Yeah. Well, I got, you know, talking to my doctor and stuff, and he said, like, look, if you would have taken he asked me, he said, did you take the vaccine? And I said, no. He goes, well, if you would have, you probably would not be here. And I was like, really? He goes, just
because your immune system,
knowing your diagnosis from everything. He said,
with your immune system being that way too.
He said you probably more than likely would not be here if you would have taken it. And I'm not saying people should. I'm not going to get.
Well, I mean that's not our position. We're just bringing up stuff. I know, like, hey, these are things that side effects people have known.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if you really want, I mean, if you kind of dive deep into it, you know, go down that rabbit hole and stuff. I mean, it may scare you a little bit, but I mean, it's the truth. I mean, numbers don't lie. You didn't have these numbers before.
Well, the more the argument was they're making everyone do this and they're making a lot of money and no one wanted to hear that shit and they were shutting it down. And now the argument is like, holy shit, how many people did it affect? How much money they make off of it? How much now proof is there? Because so many people were getting canceled at the time. We can talk about it now, right? Which I'm not big enough to get canceled anyways. But like, there's so much proof now of what, you know, those multiple boosters didn't do anything, that how much this negatively affected, you know, certain people shouldn't have never gotten in the first place, or strokes happened immediately after for certain individuals, like just
just, you know, you think about your parents and stuff I mean, if you had any elderly parents and then they're sitting in a assisted living or nursing home or something like that and you can't go see them, I mean, just that alone would just kill somebody. Just the depression, the anxiety of being there, not being able to see your family. And you know, if you're in a situation like that and there's something, you don't understand what's going on. You know, you're having to look at your family through a window. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, really? I mean, that's just.
It was a shit show, man. I think it was a huge case study.
No.
That's what I feel like it was.
Get ready for something bigger maybe down the road. I mean, I don't want to say that, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Be prepared.
Yes, right.
You know,
that's all we can be. I mean, just be prepared.
Well, I think
for whatever's coming.
You got to put your health in the forefront, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to withstand any of it. You know,
well, you know, and that's like, you know, when you're going through cancer, I mean, they're And that's one of my main focuses right now is like when you're going through that, there's so many other options that, that they, of course, the doctors don't say and maybe don't know, or the nurses don't know and don't say. But I mean, just nutrition alone, when you're going through the treatment itself, there has to be okay, this is your diet. This is what the drugs that you're on. This is what you need to be eating and not eating. This is going to help you feel better. If you do get sick, you probably get it over quicker. Just those little things like that. But there's none of that that's like, unless you do it on your own.
Right.
But there just needs to be that, like, hey, here's an option. Not that you have to do it, but I would recommend that you do it. You need to be eating these meats and vegetables and not this and that. And, and there's just, it's not there. I mean, I know for a fact, that it's not there. And there's other things, that you could be doing to, supplements and stuff that you could take, but it's just not something that they talk about. Not because they don't want to, but the nurses and doctors have a lot more going on, like treating you, make sure you're okay and stuff like that. So, I mean, then there's that other side where I would like to come in and just help these people say, here's your diet.
Right.
I got it from a doctor. I'm just going to pass this along to you, and, hopefully this will help you. So there's a lot of little things we could all do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Especially, you got somebody that's, sitting in there in the room that's, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, you're just kind of hanging out, and, you need somebody to talk to or whatever.
Yeah, man. It's probably, they don't feel very well, and it's
no, and you're
it's a lonely drip.
Oh yeah, it is a lonely drip for sure. Especially when you feel I remember one time I was there, and for whatever reason, it literally felt like somebody had stuck, shooting ice in my veins. It was kind of like, I don't remember what movie that was from. It was kind of like, I guess, Jack Frost or whatever, and they touch, and then it just, the ice just comes up their arms. That's about what it felt like. If you can imagine that. Like Frozen,
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Damn.
So I told the nurse, and she's like, oh, maybe we just need to dial it back a little bit. Okay, yeah.
She's like, we're not getting off this ride, sir. Just slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, just slow that drip down a little bit.
Well, man, I like talking about this stuff, man, and it's one of those things where I know you're an advocate for, bringing attention to these things and helping people out.
Yeah.
Man, anything else you want to mention before we shut this thing down?
No, well, dude, I could talk about this all day long.
Yeah.
Because I really honestly enjoy it. Going and helping these people. I don't know all the answers, but what I don't know, I can, reach out and find them for whoever needs it. But like I said, I do it. I enjoy it. It's really given me a lot of joy, and when I can make somebody else feel better and happy, and it's just sharing my story of what I did, and we hadn't even like touched on some of that stuff, which is fine. That's for another day sometime maybe, but yeah, I really do. I'm glad you asked me to come on. That way I can kind of share a little bit about what I do, who we are, and they can always go to our website and check it out if they need to. And
what's that?
It's giveallproject.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
awesome, man. Well,
thank you. Can read our story, and they can find out all about us. So
cool.
Like I said, we got the event coming up, so pretty pumped about that. We'll have some great silent auction stuff coming up, so all kind of cool stuff.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for your time, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.